I'm not a pervert, but all the top industry piglets are on stage right now, and there's just a sea of gooners just standing here taking pictures. Look at all these gooners. You're a gooner, you're a gooner, you're a gooner, you're a gooner. Everyone's a gooner.
Which is that Instagram is pushing gooner content.
I would have to say she's right. I would have to say she's definitely right. And I had to do some research to figure out what was gooning. What is gooning? What is gooning content? If you guys who haven't heard of it either, here is the definition right here. Nowadays, this is truer than ever. Every time I open up my Instagram, booty, 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 boobies, boobies, boobies. And I know sometimes the algorithm is curated based upon, maybe you scroll through about 2 or 3 chicks, right? Oh, she looks good. Oh, she looks good. And then the rest of the time they're showing you other chicks. And I learned how the algorithm works, right? So you kind of gotta force feed yourself other content just to flip the switch on them showing you, explicit content. But she's absolutely right. And soon enough, all of the platforms are going to start pushing gooning content, right? We're entering into what a lot of people are saying, the era of free speech, right? This includes all things, right? This just doesn't include, the right get to say what they want, and the conservatives get to voice how they've been feeling all along. No. It's not just them. Free speech, free expression is going to be for everybody. And YouTube has already been testing the waters on that. I showed you that a few videos back. Where I showed you guys the yoga girls, right? I've showed you how they're basically dancing around, the rules and regulations and getting into the yoga game or the dancing game, and they're, spreading them cheeks apart, opening up them legs, and they're showing, prints, and they're showing, explicit poses and what have you, and they're basically capturing that audience and bringing them over to things like OnlyFans or, Twitter. Twitter is already off the chain, right? But I believe Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok is going to start promoting gooning activity, which you might as well say is soft porn. And this has been going on for a minute. They've been testing the waters for a good minute, right? And let me tell you something. This is all being purposely done, right? You think that, oh yeah, we get to, it's free speech, free expression, but there's always a negative side to everything. And I'm gonna tell you like this. The plan will continue. I keep telling y'all that. Right? The plan will continue. The motives will continue. They will carry on with their plan that they were meant to carry on in the first place. Right? They are trying to, which they have been very successful at in the first place, they are trying to even more weaken men. Right? Weaken people in general, but they're trying to weaken men overall, weaken men even more than they have already, right? When you are hyper-focused on a specific content that is not anything helpful for you, that is not putting you in a better economic predicament, that's not putting you in a better health predicament, it's detrimental for you, right? There's millions and millions and millions of men, soon as they get back home from working their mediocre, crappy job, right? Even on a job, they open up their phone and they're just scrolling, right? Scrolling whore after whore after whore. Ass after ass after ass. Double D's after double D's after double D's. Petite after petite after petite. Right? Do y'all not know what scrolling does to your brain? See, we haven't seen, social media is still new. Social media is still practically new, right? A lot of these platforms are no older than 10 years, right? I think Facebook may be a little bit older, but the current state of social media right now is no older than a decade. So we haven't really seen the ramifications and the negative effects that social media will have on the mind and on society for the long term, right? We're not really going to see what this stuff does to us until 50 years later, maybe 100 years later, and a society 100 years in the future going to be looking like, damn, they had it bad, right? They're going to be looking back like, damn, social media really destroyed that society, right? They're going to be looking back and studying us how we study groups of the past. But this whole gooning, yeah, it's definitely going on. It's one big social experiment, don't y'all see? Right? Because before, I don't know if y'all remember early Instagram days, but before it was just Instagram, right? It was Instagram. You can log on and just watch. Instagram kind of took Vine's place, right? Especially when Instagram started implementing videos. So Instagram took Vine place, and you can log on and watch funny videos, comedic videos, pranks, you just log on and have a good laugh, right? Now it's different. And also, this is what's going to be very detrimental to men and society. Think about how many times you've opened up your app and seen practically a naked woman. Think about how many times you've opened up your app and you've seen, the print of a woman, that pee print. Yeah, y'all know what print I'm talking about. Name how many times you've seen breast after breast and explicit adult material, even unwarranted. Y'all can't deny. Even unwarranted, you open up your app and it's right there in your face. Right? Even, like I said, even if you slip up and, you look at a few whores, right? Listen, we all men, we slip up. You look at a few whores and now your algorithm is curated to show you whore after whore. And, some men are not strong enough to break themselves out of that algorithmic, change and force feed themselves something so the algorithm can change. Some men get into the sunken place, right? Some men dive deep into it, and every time they open up the app, it's a dopamine hit. Right? So it used to be to where the dopamine hit came from the likes, right? Long time ago when Instagram, was first hot on the block, people were craving for that Instagram like. They were craving for, somebody to view, their Instagram photo, right? Oh, they liked it. Yay. Right? That's what Instagram was before, right? And, the top people probably, suffer from that dopamine hit of getting those likes, getting those views or whatever. But now they're moved past that. Now they're superseded that. Now the dopamine hit is coming from opening up your app and seeing naked women, right? Opening up your app and seeing constant, sexual gratification. So it used to be to where, before social media, men actually had to work to get punani. Men actually had to get out here and fight to get punani. And to this extent, to a certain extent, I mean, you kind of got to do that now, but y'all get what I mean, right? Now it's taken away, gooning is taking away that sexual, what's the word I'm trying to use? Gooning is taking away that masculine, that masculinity that men once had to get out here and go fight. Now men don't want to see. This is part of the problem, right? This is part of the problem why so many men are, removing themselves from work, right? A lot of men are removing themselves from work. They'd rather stay with their parents. They'd rather work their mediocre jobs, play video games, whatever, right? They're saying, screw you, society. I'm done with it. And part of the problem is that because they're getting cheap dopamine hits, right? Never before could you find a girl that matches your exact taste, right? Your exact taste, and you could just beat off to it. Get a cheap hit, right? You could just beat your meat paws, no diddy. You could just log on and get a cheap hit. So a lot of men, and gooning is the term, a lot of men are stuck in a trance state. They're stuck in this trance state. It's addictive. Social media is a drug. I'm going to tell you that right now. They're not gonna see how far this has been ingrained in society until, like I said, 50 to 100 years later. I believe that social media, to those who don't know how to use it, so mainly the consumers, right? And if you're consuming, self-help and, just, material here and there, then whatever, everything in moderation. But there are people, millions of people who open up this app day in and day out, hour to hour, right? And I can guarantee you that this is playing a role in societal norms. Definitely. This is playing a role in how men and women interact with each other, right? Men have gotten so used to, men in general, definitely, men have gotten so used to opening up apps and just seeing pretty women. Open up the app and seeing a woman that you want, right? Redhead, brunette, blonde, right? Latina, black, big booty, petite, Asian, little bitty itties, right? Men have gotten so used to opening up the app and just watching whatever they want to watch, looking at whatever they want to look at. And they get the gratification without having to do the work. You can open up the app and put yourself in a trance state, right? Put yourself in a trance state the same way real porn works. Right? So you put yourself in a trance state. And a lot of guys, they'll put themselves in this mindset to where they think what's going on is real. They'll think what's going on with them is real. Right? They'll close their eyes. And think that the chick is, their actual girlfriend. Think that the actual chick is, screwing them. I've seen some recent videos where like chicks are now like spitting at the camera. Right? Never before have I seen this crap. It's like a trend now. Women are now spitting at the camera. Like on some, domination type junk. Right? They're going all in on this app. You might as well call Instagram a soft corn app. It's getting more into some hardcore stuff. I've seen some. I'm starting to see the beginning of some hardcore stuff on Instagram. Right? And if you guys don't know, Meta, Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg owns Instagram. Right? And as we know, Zuckerberg has aligned himself with Trump, because I don't think he actually agrees with Trump. I think that because Zuckerberg has been subpoenaed by the US government for possibly interfering or allowing things to interfere with the previous election. Right? So now clearly Zuckerberg is trying to, He's trying to sidestep persecution. He's trying to sidestep trouble. And we all know how to sidestep trouble. Money. Right? So he's trying to sidestep trouble. And now he's going to push, I don't know if you've seen that recent video of him of saying that, you know, they're no longer doing fact checking. They're no longer doing this. They're no longer doing that. Basically, it's free reign. Right? It's free reign. And I just want to know, how long will it take YouTube to catch up? Because think about it. They're competing. They're competing for attention, right? So if men are over here, right? If men are going over here because they can get those dopamine hits, right? Now I know YouTube and Instagram, they serve two different purposes. However, to compete, you got to do what your competition is doing. Hence why YouTube started doing shorts. Hence why Instagram started doing reels. Is because TikTok was dominating. Right? So to compete with a competitor, they have to go above and beyond and do what their competitor is doing and make that product that they took from their competitor much better for their viewer. And like I've showed you on YouTube, they're already trying to slide it in, right? There's a lot of chicks who have Instagram profiles and Twitter profiles, you know, doing the whole, you know, sexual adult content, and they reformulate some of that and make it more softer, right? Make it softer, and they're putting it on YouTube or just doing a different content style on YouTube. And like I said, they're funneling that through their to their OF. They're funneling that to their Instagram. They're funneling that, you know, to, you know, their own, you know, website. This is what they're doing. They're doing it. So, like I said, what she's speaking on, it's not far-fetched at all. But the question is, when will men wake up to see that they're being played with? When will men wake up and smell the coffee? Right? Y'all focused on the wrong. Listen, when I say that the majority of men are going to get left behind, the majority of men are going to get left behind. And I mean that. And I say that because I see the writing on the wall. I see where society is headed, right? And it's funny how people are, you know, people are cheering, like, yeah, let's move. We're moving to a merit-based society. Most of you motherfuckers cannot compete. A lot of people don't have the credentials. A lot of people will not put the work in. Some of the main people trying to champion a merit base, which I've already gave my conclusion on that. I don't believe that society could ever be even remotely 100% merit based, whatever. However, if it is true, and if it does happen in, you know, a majority fashion, most people will just be wiped out. Most people will be absolutely stumped on by the people who get out here and actually put in the work. Who actually get out here and put in the time. Who actually get out here and put in, you know, the blood, sweat, and tears. Because the reality is, most people, and especially most Americans, are just mediocre at best. And what people are paying attention to, what people are leaning towards, and what people are not leaning towards instead, I can see the writing on the wall. I can see that people lack critical thinking skills. I can see that people are consuming social media content at astronomical rates, and they're not consuming the right stuff. They're consuming the stuff that's worse for them. They're consuming the stuff that's worse for them, right? Which, if you give human beings a choice, most of the time they're gonna do what's worse for them. There has to be a special kind of human, yes. There has to be a special kind of human, hence why there's a top 10 and top 20%. And yeah, economic factors, social factors do play a role into a lot of this. However, even still, there has to be a special kind of person to focus solely on the goal. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of men are not focused on the goal. They're distracting themselves with McDonald's. They're distracting themselves with Burger King. They're distracting themselves with Gooning. Right? They're distracting themselves with all the wrong things. All the wrong things. And not the right things. But then those same people they'll get out here and complain, oh, women don't want me. Yeah, because look at you. Oh, women want money. Yeah, the men with the money ain't complaining. Oh, women are only doing this. Yeah, because you ain't doing that. Well, the government is, yeah, because you're not separating yourself from the government, hence making money, putting yourself in a better economic condition. But instead, you're gooning off to Instagram. Right? Soon as you log off Instagram, guess what? You go straight to Cornhub. Right? You got to get the final blow. Pause. No diddy. This is where we headed, gentlemen. Y'all seen it for yourself. Instagram is pushing gooning. And soon enough, mark my words, I said it here, all the platforms will be pushing gooning. Why? Because they want control. They want your attention. Right? They want your utmost attention, not just some of it. They want all of it. They want you to stay on their platforms by any means necessary. They want to also weaken you. They also want to take your power. And that's an after pill. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.